And welcome back. Well, when you think of June, one of the first things that comes to mind in June is June brides. June has traditionally, it's been one of the most popular months of the year to get married.
That's right. And Kara Kaiser, Managing Director of BMO Private Bank, is here to give us some great advice for newlyweds. Thanks so much for being with us.
I love this topic.
This can get scary because this is the real stuff. Once you peel back all of the fantasy and all of the love, you're like, okay, now let's talk money. And
that's right. Well, and this is a little bit of a live topic for you,
right?
It's an important topic. So, getting married is a significant life event, right? Would you agree? Is. So, anytime you have a significant life event, it's a great reminder to just really revisit your personal finances. Planning a wedding is no different. You get wrapped up in a lot of the details, maybe the honeymoon, but you want to give some purposeful thought as you're taking two individuals and coming together for a financial future. What's that going to look like?
Okay. We've had experts, psychologists on the show say the #1 thing people argue about is money.
Whoa,
and so for richer or for poor isn't always this lovely thing.
Absolutely.
Finances matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're talking to when you're talking to couples who are looking to get married, or some who already are and maybe haven't breached that topic, what do you think are the most important things to focus on?
Sure. A lot of things to talk about. I think I would talk first kind of foundational and then maybe 3 specific things for you. So first off, sounds basic. Have a conversation between the two partners
about what you have,
money, about what you have, but even more important, what are your thoughts about money? You don't realize that people, based on how they've been brought up or maybe life experiences, think differently about spending, savings. Some people, they want to spend it all while they're here. Some people, which is great.
Rich dad, poor dad.
Right? Some people want to make sure they have money saved for legacy, for future generations. Very different thought process. So just foundational starting out. What does that look like? Find common ground, set some expectations. Then you can even start talking about specifics.
Okay.
So maybe 3 things to think about, right? The first thing people think about, you went right to budgeting, right? So what does that look like? You are bringing 2 people together, cash inflows, cash outflows. Talk about that, set expectations, make a financial plan. So that would definitely be paramount.
Okay.
Second thing, never ceases to amaze me, legal documentation. Do you have a will in place? Do you have a power of attorney? Healthcare power of attorney and advance directives with a living will. So, those are topics people don't like to face, but they're so important, and getting married is a really good time to think about that.
It gives you an excuse to talk about it.
Absolutely. You should. And you've now got somebody else in your life that you probably want to be making those decisions. So you want to make sure that that's documented so that you can do so. And then finally, you might now be filing a joint tax return. So maybe meeting with a tax accountant. What does that mean? Filing jointly, how can that help? That would be also helpful as well.
Now, are there pros and cons to a joint versus individual? I know a lot of women might be watching saying, our moms raised us to have a little on the side.
When I want to buy those shoes, I don't want to be questioned.
Mad money, right?
Yes. Or just in case. And I don't know, you don't want to think that way, but that's how a lot of moms raise girls.
That's right.
So, but are there pros and cons to bringing it together, or a way that you can have both?
It's always a big topic, right? That's kind of the day-to-day, how does this work? So I think there's pros and cons to both. When you have joint accounts, it provides you with a few things, right? So first off, it provides you with transparency in a marriage.
No secrets.
No secrets. You can see what's going in and out. If your things are titled the same, you can put them all in one kind of electronic financial picture so that you can see it all, and you ensure that everybody has access if one is unable. So those are some good things about doing it jointly.
How about the drawbacks?
So the drawbacks, you can see everything, right?
Now we know how much it costs to get our hair done.
Right. You're exposed. You're exposed.
Right.
On the individual side, that mad money, some people actually budget well that way. I know if I have my own account, I put this much money aside, I can spend that on whatever I want. That's not a bad thing.
Okay.
That's a great thing. Some people also might bring family money to a marriage, for example, and maybe you want to keep that separate. So there's a lot of good reasons to have your own accounts, but again, sitting down talking about it, really most important.
I've heard, a lot of people have both. They might have a joint one for the household bills that you each contribute a certain amount to, and then you have your separate for, like you said, your man money. That works too, right?
Works too. Absolutely.
How about credit cards? I think that's something people really get nervous about coming into the relationship is, if you have duplicate ones, do you get rid of them? Because I know credit cards can really add up to your financial score, your credit score.
Great question. So fundamentally, I think some people like to come in and say, we've got duplicates, let's cancel all of them.
Right.
That can have sometimes a negative impact on your credit
Heard
rating.
that.
So I would say talk with a financial advisor or your banker about how can we do this thoughtfully so that it is a positive change for a married couple.
I was going to say, do you find that older people getting married, it's harder to kind of do this? It's a real effort because everyone is so established and they have so much already.
That's a great question.
Keep your two, we're separate, we're going to go about life together, but everything's separate. Sorry.
I think that's a great question, and I actually think all of these kind of tips, if you will, and thoughts, they apply regardless of age and regardless of income. To your point, many times later in life, maybe there have been other families earlier on, it can get more complex. So frankly, it actually underscores more of the reason to talk about it and have a plan going forward.
Well, and the fact that these things can change, so revisit it frequently and find a professional. And here's how you do that.
That's why we need you.
Right. Go to BMOWealthManagement.com, call for an appointment at 414-287 8700.
Yeah, that's why we need you.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks,
Call
Kara.
us. Reach
that
out.
That is a good conversation.
And she could kind of mediate the things because I'm sure that people get a little intense.
We do that a lot. We're happy to do it. That's right. That's right.